Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I am jumping into cataloging the connections. This is the new devotional kit from BTW4G. I've kind of been working on it behind scenes, but this is the first process video for you guys. I'm working in Exodus 3:14, which I will talk about here in just a few minutes, but I'm going to be distressing some different elements to put on this page. So I've pulled out this typewriter stamp. This is one of the stamps that's in the new stamp sets released at the time of this kit, so it's not part of the kit, but I will link all that down below for you guys. And I think this particular set with the typewriter and things will be used so frequently in my Bible. It's a great kind of standard stamp set to have. So I stamped that out on some regular cardstock in some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and now I'm going in and just coloring it in with my Faber-Castell big brush markers. If I'm wanting to color in something really quickly, I reach for these because they are just easy to work with. I have a whole bunch of different colors thanks to Lori from By the Well. She has been so generous, but she does have a sale that goes on all the time for these markers, so check her out. It's a great place to pick up these markers, a handful at a time, and just kind of build up your collection. I will have a photo over on the corresponding blog post with the colors that correspond with the kit, so you'll know which ones I'm using to color this in. But I also pulled out this Faber-Castell gold like pen. It's like a pen marker, I don't know, and I use that to add some details to that typewriter and then just fussy cut it out. And now I'm going to take some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink and kind of distress all of these die cut pieces. So Distress Oxide inks blend super smoothly, and I'm just working off of a non-stick surface and lightly blending some of this ink onto the edges with this mini ink blending tool. And it doesn't take very long at all, but I think it really kind of jazzes up these die cuts. I did cut down the die cuts from the kit and kind of cut off some of the white that was around them, just so there wasn't as much white showing, and just kind of clean them up a little bit. But you don't have to do that. That's just kind of a preference of mine. And then here I have a piece of vintage hymnal paper. I was gifted this vintage hymnal from some ladies at my church, and I've just been hoarding it, afraid to use it, but I'm trying to really push myself to pull the pages out and use it. So I'm going to try to find some Etsy shops or something online for you guys that sell vintage hymnals and link that down below. As soon as I got this kit, I knew I wanted to pair old book pages and old vintage hymnal pages with the die cuts in this piece. I think it just really went well with the imagery in this kit. So I'm also inking this up with some Distress Oxide ink in that same vintage photo color. It was already pretty aged, but this just kind of made it so everything was the same tone or same color. So before I stick all that down, I am going to work on the background. I'm going to do some ink smushing. This is my go-to. I am using the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink, and I'll also bring in some Forest Moss. I'm not working on a prepped page, so these inks do bleed through the Bible page. If that bothers you, you can always prep the page first. Don't worry. But I don't worry about bleed through. I'll just deal with it later on. So I am smushing some of that ink on the plastic packaging, spraying it with some water off camera so I don't get it all over my desk, and then just mushing it down on the page. I do dry in between each color, that way they don't mix too much. But Distress Oxide inks, they oxidize when they get wet, and they just have all these pretty tones and different colors that come out when they get wet, and so they are just perfect for this technique. I'm also going to bring in some frayed burlap. This is one of my hands down favorite inks for this technique. So I've sprayed it, and now I'm dipping the bottom of a jar into that ink and then stamping that on my page. So you get these, rings on the page, and this frayed burlap is beautiful. It dries down into this deep, rich brown, and these blues and greens come out. I don't know. It is just such a unique ink. I love it. So now my background's all done. I can start sticking things down. I do go ahead and round the corner of that hymnal page, and this is going to be a little pocket. So I'm carefully applying adhesive just around the edges of this paper here, and then this tag is going to go down here, and the tag is where I'm going to do my journaling. And so I'm going to kind of lay that where I want it and make sure I put adhesive everywhere else, and then leave a little blank spot there that tag can nestle down into. This devotional is full of information, you guys. It just, I mean, it has tons of cross-referencing with verses in the New Testament, the Old Testament. We are really focusing on this kind of complex idea of who God is and who Jesus is and how, you know, Jesus is God and all that goes into that. And it's just amazing. So I want plenty of room to take notes. Like I said, I'm working in Exodus 3:14, which said, God said to Moses, I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. So this whole theme of day 3 is God stating, I am who I am. And the devotional down here says, what is the significance of that name? By declaring his name to be I am, God is telling us that he is unchanging, that he is all that we need. God exists, as Francis Schaeffer entitled his great theological work. He is there and he is not silent. God is unchanging. His name is not I was or I will be. It is I am. The faithful, sustaining, holy God in the Old Testament is the same today, and the same loving, saving, empowering Savior in the New Testament is the same today. So there are just some really powerful statements in this devotional. I'd really encourage you guys to pick it up if you haven't already. It is just amazing. So you can see I went ahead and used some wood alpha stamps to stamp out I am who I am on that little typewriter. I love the look of that. I'm going to link some of those little alpha stamps down below for you guys. I think it'd be really fun to kind of customize your titles in the paper of that typewriter. So you really get a lot of versatility with that particular stamp. And so that title is a little bit smaller than I normally do on my pages, but it is a like focal point, statement point on this page. I love how it came out. Some of the text does get covered up in this entry just because of the nature of how things are stuck down. If that bothers you, you can adjust things, use things smaller. I do know that the new Illustrating Bible from Illustrated Faith and Dayspring is releasing very soon, and it has huge margins. They are almost 4 inches wide. So if you are bothered by covering text, you may want to look into a pre-sale and ordering that Bible now. I will link one down below for you guys. It is going to be awesome. Mine should be here today, and then I will be showing videos very soon using that video. So I'm just wrapping up this page, putting a tab up there. And I pulled out these Word Fuddy stickers. I believe these are from the Journey devotional kit from Easter time, and I still have them in my stash. And that particular kit, if you have the alpha stickers and things from that kit, they pair very well with the colors of this month's kit. So I pulled these out, and I'm going to add some of these to my tab. And like I said, off camera, I'll come back in and add some of my notes and prayers and things to that tag. I decided to dress up that tag a little bit, so I'm pulling out the Grateful Critters stamp set. This is from last fall. I don't believe it's available any longer from By the Well for God. Lori, if you're watching this, I think you need to bring this one back because I'm feeling fall, and this is one of my favorite stamp sets. It's so adorable. You can see it's been very well loved. My kids love this one, but I'm going to stamp out that Praise His Name stamp using this vintage VersaFine ink. And so I didn't want it really stark black to conflict with the title, but I just wanted to kind of dress that tag up a little bit. And that is it. So I will link everything in the description box down below for you guys. Check out the blog post for more close-up photos and links to everything mentioned. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.